welcome back. She had been a staple of the underground poetry and live music scene for years when the roots reggae renaissance began.
New name, King Rastafari.
And is now one of the leading females among the group of neo-roots reggae rockers, being credited for the revival of the genre in the local space.
All are the same.
She is Janine, our very special guest right now, right here on stage for the very first time. Janine.
Blessed love.
What a pleasure it is to have
Indeed.
you right
Indeed.
here on stage, finally. All right. So, what is it like among these, what we call neo-roots reggae rockers?
Wow.
A female in that elite group of warriors.
Wow. Perspective is a hell of a thing, eh? Because it's been years that we've been championing live music. And we've always known it was very important to ensure that, the people of Jamaica have a space where they can see music being played live and experience, the roots culture. And, always being around the elders gives you an opportunity to feel that vibe, but it's not something everyone gets to share. So over the past, call it 6-7 years, we've been working steadily to try and get live music out there in Jamaica. And so it's really heartwarming to see how the youth that we have embraced over the years have kind of, all stayed together and been true to the idea of we're doing it with live music, we're doing it with consciousness, we're doing it together,
Okay, so it was a conscious effort to effect change in the space.
For sure. You'll never know what will happen when you just start to move in a particular way. Mm-hmm. But how it has been embraced and how we see it strength to strength growing, because everyone that comes out stronger. Mm-hmm. So we see Protege coming out, and we see Kabaka coming out, and we see Dre Island coming out, and we see Empress Sativa and Kellyson, and we see Chronix coming out, and all of these youth. I've been able to watch everyone grow. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to watch how, they've consistently held to that idea, that spirit of consciousness first, Rastafari first, and unity.
Yes.
It's a thing where it's evolving. The relationships are evolving, but it's something that is so important that we all have to kind of, no matter how we feel about each other at any particular day, the love transcends that, and we're able to put the music first because we see the state of the nation. Okay. We see the state.
So at this stage, do you still consider yourself an underground artist, or are you now?
Yeah, man, for sure. I consider underground to be a high honor, because it is underground that the seed dies and sprouts.
Yes.
And the longer you stay underground, the deeper you are able to make your roots. Mm-hmm. And so I am in no hurry. I have been in no hurry to bust.
Yes.
It has always been about making sure that we make the right connections with the people on the ground. So the ones in the Rastafari community, the ones in the inner city communities where we serve, and the elders and the youth, and trying to make sure that we're not just talking about a thing, we live in a particular way, and that sustains us and ensures that we always have something to say.
How tempting was it during this journey, 7 years founding underground? Because you started as a poet,
As a
right?
poet, yeah.
And pounding the space, working hard, maintaining the focus. Weren't you at points tempted to divert, to go somewhere else, to get the commercial attention?
I have never had aspirations of, I want to be a reggae star. It was something that, after stripping everything away, because I grew up, I went through the traditional, you go to high school, and then you go to university, and then you do some postgrad, and then you go and you do a corporate job, and you are successful in that, and you move up the ranks, and everybody wants you to be elevated because they see your potential. But that's just not what I had in mind. I always knew that I didn't want to work on anybody's plantation for all of my life.
Okay.
So even as you would, get the knowledge from these places that you'd be you know in your mind this is only for a time. And when the time finally came for me to make that exit, the people around in that environment didn't understand. They're like, you sing? Really? Are you sure? You know, but I was sure. I didn't know how it would manifest, but I knew I had to kind of strip all of that away. And so the journey became very spiritual, very personal. And the opportunities that came as a result of that really kind of prodded me along this way, meeting the other youth that I did. Because when I started meeting these youths, and I mean, there are a lot of a part of why I have been so inspired, and meeting the ones in the Rastafari community who, they have these important messages and they want it to get out, but it's harder for you to go and give a lecture or for you to go stand in the street. But when you can put words together well and wrap it around melody and have strong rhythms, it's easier for the people to swallow it. And then when you have one voice strong and two voices strong and a movement strong, then it's impossible to ignore.
So all along there was so much to say. You youngsters were just loaded with things you want to express, that you wanted to say, and yet you weren't being listened to as much as you wanted to, because you wanted to get to the youth of Jamaica. Yep. Were you speaking just specifically to them, the kids, the young people?
The message must always be able to translate to the youth. So even if I'm speaking to the highest level of leadership, I have to make it so that when the children hear it, they understand. And I don't mean breaking it down and using smaller words. I mean making it true and real, so that if they go and take a dictionary or they go on Google, because this set of youth, this generation, them not ask questions in them, just go find things themselves. And so I am speaking to that generation who will be curious and who will go and seek, because that is how I was encouraged to learn also. Because the schools cannot be left up, your education cannot be left up to the education system. Okay. It is the parents' responsibility to make sure your children are reading, your children are exposed to the arts, your children are nourished properly. And we see where that is failing because the families are breaking down, communities are breaking down. And so it becomes then the responsibility of the ones who have the youth's attention to tell them these things. Okay. And so they're being entertained, and we give thanks for entertainment, but there is need for substance.
But first you must get their attention, which you have.
Exactly.
And it must be a comforting feeling to know that they're listening right now.
Yes,
And let us go to something that they are listening to right now and will be listening to much, much more in the very near future. Let's go to this board back here.
Mahava juvie name Orlando. Him have a plot of land upper west over so. He know me love my belly cause I just saw me grow. And my favorite thing he bring for me is avocado. Avocado, me love the avocado. Avocado, me love the avocado. Avocado, me love the avocado. Avocado, me love the. And when the pear not in a season, still him know when me want to swim up with the shell them on the open fire. And everything me need, you know my king deliver. For hype my affection with the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the. Him riding on a bike for bring the good love to me. Nothing too high, just 150. Him used to be a soldier, so him build properly. But treat me little body with the right remedy. Right remedy, him have 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 the. Teach me all the principles him learn from the land. And as I'm me alone, him have me not for sharing passion. No girl around can intervene cause she no know what I want. This perfect specimen of him, me humble lion. Humble lion, me mama humble lion. Humble lion, me mama humble lion. Humble lion, me mama humble lion. Humble lion. No man now violate from him dep on the scene. The only tenderness him have reserved serve with the queen. And if you catch a glimpse of him, you know what I mean. Nearly 7 foot of muscle and a size 14. Size 14, him of the size 14. Size 14, him of the size 14. Size 14, him of the size 14. Size 14. So as you can imagine, me no need nothing more. My belly and my body and my heart, well, sure say him alone I get the healing when my hand.
Wow. Love and romance. Avocado style.
No
Janai style. Wow, nice. Love it.
Thank you.
What a lovely song. My goodness. Where is it now? Where's the song? Is it out there burning up? I take
Boy,
it.
this is one of the best received songs. It's probably the most commercial song on the album.
Yes.
You know, if you check the YouTube views, or if you check, not the YouTube views, if you check the iTunes, that is one of the songs that is doing the best. It is one of the songs that more people can relate to. So
Yes.
whether or not you're Rastafari, you can relate to the idea of loving someone, you know, and wanting to see that person and be around that person and give thanks for somebody who, you know, is serving their purpose.
Okay, and hopefully this will bring more attention to the rest of your tremendous body of work.
So this would be like the gateway song. So
Yes.
someone will see this and be like, oh, that's cool, such a nice vibe. And then they will be, the rest of the music that they will find will be full of even more substance. But even a song as light as this, it's important that we created a visual for it, because there were a lot of questions being asked, what is this? And, you know, becoming controversial and so on. But it really is a simple song. I wrote that song at the breakfast table, meaning I literally tasted an avocado, the first one of the season, and was inspired to write this song. It's a tribute kind of to a particular style of dancehall. I don't really experiment with that much, but it's important. It's a part of the culture. And we don't put down any kind of expression, but we use a tool like an avocado video to highlight the things that we read, to highlight the way that we eat, to highlight the things that we think are important. We talk about remedy. It's really remedies. It's country people. I'm a country girl.
Yes.
So we know, say, bush, there is a bush to cure everything. And we believe.
Really a great time to revisit some of our roots, where we're coming from as a people, Jamaicans.
Definitely.
And our African roots. Great
Exactly.
time to do this, because we're seeing now where the world is embracing much of
Finally.
what
What Rastafari tell them long time.
been preaching,
Exactly.
and we're being condemned and vilified
Exactly.
on.
Yes, sir.
The world is now embracing and saying, Rastafari, we've got the message. And in
Yes,
fact,
sir.
it's even harder now for the people, the roots people, the Rastafarian people, to afford some of what they've always embraced and ensure and beg us all
True.
to consume.
Right now, I think it is a beautiful time to be making conscious music.
Yes.
Because the people are very receptive. And here in Jamaica, I have been surprised by how receptive the people have been to the messages, and the fact that people are noticing and you know, even people who not Rasta, you know, them love the consciousness. Church people, them love it. And you wonder, you know, but they are embracing it. We travel the world and we see even more overwhelming love for the messages. And we don't take it personally and think, oh, they love Janine. We know that is Rastafari them love. We know that is the principles of consciousness, love for one another, taking care of your body, taking care of your family, you know, balance. Those are the principles that is why we do music. If not, it's just for vanity.
All right, so you talked about your roots, Trelawney born and raised, all this.
Country
you get
girl.
to breathe all the
Yes,
clean air.
yes.
Yes.
Sea breeze.
And came to the city when?
I came to the city when I was turning 9. My father was a minister in the country pastor, you know, take care of them community and so on. So he came to Kingston now to work at Calabar High School as a chaplain. So it was no longer a church environment, it was a school environment. So he became mentor to the boys. But I still had to go to church, and I started to interact now with the town pastor there when I realized, oh, so town church is a different thing from country church.
What were some of the differences?
Major differences. Town church did kind of feel like, you know, it was more social kind of climbing rather than roots and all of the crops ready now. Make sure say pastor get some of the crops. You and your wife having a little dispute. Pastor Cunningham, we need you to talk to, you know, or you children not behaving well, and those kind of things. It was different. It was now more, okay, so who's going to handle the accounts of the church, and we have to make sure that then harvest time is coming, and the special set of offering is for this and whatever. And I had a great experience, and I'm not knocking my church experience because it is responsible for giving me a place to have my spirit grow.
So this was a full family.
Yeah, man.
Mom, dad.
Mom, dad, sister.
Siblings.
I had a brother. He passed away when we got to Kingston.
That must have been devastating.
That was a real creative turning point as well, because that's when I started to really go inside, because he was like my hero. And then I come to Kingston, he gets very, very sick. He got leukemia. And he just melted away. This huge, big, strong man just melted down and then passed away. It was difficult for me because I was just now learning and getting involved with school and so on. And to lose my brother at that time, I didn't really have an outlet other than pen and paper.
So when did Rastafari come?
Rastafari, I think, kind of was always there, because there was always a one Rasta man who set a good example. And, and I think my father, I call my father a Rasta man just because of how I've seen him live, But Rastafari really came to the fore when I went to university. And I met some Rastafari ones who were not the dirty Rasta that they tell you about in the media, but these were educated people who chose not to wear shoes on their feet and chose to dress humbly and chose to not eat certain kinds of food and use them herb in a particular way and chant Isis, and the culture became beautiful to me, and the reasonings became so powerful that it was now starting to challenge some of the foundations of what I thought I knew. So I'm Afrocentric, but I don't know who His Majesty is. How you can don't know who His Majesty is? You hear all the propaganda, but have you ever read for yourself anything that this man has said?
What conflict did it generate with the family now?
Well, surprisingly, I am a girl who, because I am so close to my family, because it was really them. I didn't grow up in a holy community. I grew up on the Calabar ground, so it was them. I was going through everything, so I shared it with them. My journey in Rastafari, and always just bringing it little by little to them. Say, I read about this today, or I had this discussion with, this brethren, and my father surprised me all along my life, because he was always so open to the ideas that I would present, and he allowed me to experiment. And then there was a time when I told them that I was going to step outside of church. I needed to let that go and to kind of find my own way.
And they let you go.
And they allowed me to. And if they weren't as open and as allowing of me, I don't think I would be where I am. Because the confidence they had in me that, okay, I'm giving you this space, so you have to make the right decision because your ball is in your court. When I started when I just started to really get involved with even herb, I remember going to my mother and talking to her about it, and her being apprehensive, but her at the same time appreciating that I was sharing it with her. And I think that is important for the youths to know. Talk to your parents.
Okay.
They may surprise you, because they were the youth at one point. So share with them, and this will help when. So it doesn't all come down on them at once, but they get to see your journey. And so they get to see, yeah, man, you're going to make good decisions, even if...
What were you studying in college?
At university, I studied psychology, human resource development, and criminology.
So you were aiming to do, in terms of a career now, what were you aiming?
I was aiming to do...
Who were you going to be? What were you
I think
going
the
to
things
be
we study at school are the things, hopefully, are the things that are interesting to us and that will ignite our passion. And I have used my degrees through all of the different areas of life that I practiced.
Okay.
And definitely now, because I am still that sociologist, still doing social research, because that is how I am able to help people. That is how I'm able to say, go in front of an audience I've never been in front of, just look around and be able to connect with people on a human level, And it has raised my empathy and my compassion as well. So,
So you were never corporate. You weren't thinking, well...
No, man. I used to go to work. And you see how my hair stay right now? It's not no neat up and fine up and things. So I would go to work, and I would have on my Clarks now. I would probably have on a flat shoes. Yeah. And, the head of HR would probably have a problem with the fact that my shoes is so flat, which was kind of weird to me because I had to do so much walking. Why shouldn't I be in flat shoes? But yeah, they are at my office. I worked because I am like that. I am passionate. So anything I plug into, I go and work hard at it. So they kind of gave me a little freedom to be myself. I didn't have to make my hair neat. I didn't have to keep my uniform too well pressed. I just would, you see me, go in and do my job.
You have brought with you some companions.
Yes.
You want to explain them for us?
I will, and thank you for the opportunity. Okay, yeah. I am often asked a lot because the music I make, people end up wanting to, it's like it causes you to sit and think. People are not necessarily used to their music doing that to them. And so when you open someone's mind like that, you are going to be, you almost end up responsible for them. They're going to send you a message and say, you know, I was listening to this and now I don't know what to do with myself and I just got involved with this, and they expect that you have an answer.
Okay.
And so what I try to do is say, in the same way that I had to go on my journey and seek for myself, the only way it's going to be real for you is if you do the same. I have a book here called Groundings with My Brothers. These are speeches and publications by Walter Rodney. Very, very powerful, very, very powerful. This is the brethren that wrote How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. They banned him from Jamaica and later assassinated him. You can go and read up on him. But these are important works for any black youth growing up now so that they can understand themselves in this economic context. You have a book like The Third Testament, right? It used to be called The Select Speeches of Emperor Haile Selassie of Ethiopia. This is one of 2 volumes, yeah? This is comprehensive speeches, dated, all of the things that the king said. So it's not just big up Jah, hail Jah, is learn what he said, right? And this is what makes it important as a Rastafari to go out and spread the word. I'm not coming to you with my own words. I don't have to because Jah said everything already. Right? And then we have a book. I brought this book because this is like a reference book. It's called The Master Key. I don't even know if this book's still banned in Jamaica. It's by Laurent W. De Lawrence. They banned all of the books from him because they said that people use these books and the obia. But the Master Key, the idea is that you are in control. If you are able to master your will, you can control your thoughts and you can control your destiny. This is empowerment for people, right? Whatever you use it for. It's not everybody going to find that book and it's not everybody going to be able to process it. But if you have access to the information, then you are able, you just have a more likely possible, more likely potential to excel.
So these we could attribute to some of your, in your journey, these are some of the reads.
These are some of the continuous reads, especially. These are books I refer to often.
Yes.
Because, not just for material, but just it's something I can share with someone. Okay. Like when you read a book like Master Key, this teaches you about excitement and how to control your excitement. These are powerful tools. You know, when you go in a room and as an artist, you reach to a festival, everybody wants to see you and touch you and say, hi. By the time you reach to like the 6th person, your face skin out, your teeth skin out, the whole of you exposed. So it teaches you to be conscious of yourself, be conscious of the muscles of excitement. Compose yourself, be present, presentness, breath. All of these things are very important. But they don't teach you that in school. They are teaching you to go and work on the treadmill. You know what I mean? So empowerment is what we're about. You know, when we talk about a career, I don't have career goals. I have life goals. I have youths that I want to have. So I have to make sure, say, a system going to be in place to educate them because I cannot depend on this education system. I have to make sure that there is going to be space for them to grow food and learn that food don't come from supermarket. Food come from the earth. You see me? And how am I going to do that? I got to carry them, go to Africa, go learn. Africa is just, no matter what them tell you about Africa, Africa is the safest place on the planet. But yeah.
Even in this time of Ebola.
Even in this time, yeah, it's Africa safer than the US right
Of course. Janine, wow, what a chat. You have to come back here to us, right? You're on stage and let us continue this wonderful conversation where you can empower us, all of us. All right, there you have her right here on stage, Janine. Everyone, Winford Williams, on behalf of all of us, thanking you for joining us. Do join us again next week for more On Stage.
My have a little juvie name Orlando. Him have a plot of land upper west over so. You know me love my belly cause I just summer grow. And my favorite thing him bring for me is avocado. Avocado, me love the avocado. Avocado, me love the avocado. Avocado, me love the avocado. Avocado, me love the. And when the pear not in a season, still him know when me want. everything me need, you know my king deliver. The hype my affection with the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the sweet college draw. Sweet college draw, me love the. Him riding on my bike for bring the good love to me. Nothing too high, just 150. Him used to be a soldier, so him built properly. For treat me little body with the right remedy. Right remedy, him have the right remedy. Right remedy, him have the right remedy.